You know that feeling when something lands in front of you and you just know it's not random. When a conversation, a sentence, a video appears exactly when you needed it, even if you didn't realize you needed it. That's what's happening right now. The universe doesn't operate on coincidence. It operates on readiness. And if you're here, reading this, listening to this, it means you're ready to stop pretending. We spend so much energy trying to look like we have it all together. We swallow words we want to say. We feel something deep and real, and then we make our face go neutral, our voice go steady, our body language go calm. We've been doing this for so long that we forgot it's exhausting. We forgot that the armor we wear to protect ourselves is the same armor that's crushing us. Think about the last time you wanted to tell someone how you really felt, how their words hurt you, how scared you actually are, how lost you feel sometimes. And then think about what you did instead. You probably smiled and said, "You're fine." You probably changed the subject. You probably built another brick in that wall you've been constructing since childhood. Here's what nobody tells you. That wall you built to keep pain out, it also keeps everything else out. Connection, love, real friendship, the kind of moments that make life feel alive. When you hide what you feel, you don't just hide the hard stuff. You hide all of it. You become a version of yourself that's acceptable, palatable, safe, but not real. And the thing is, you can feel it. You can feel the gap between who you are and who you're pretending to be. That gap is where all your energy drains. That gap is why you're tired even when you've done nothing. That gap is the distance between your life and the life you could be living. We learned this, by the way. We learned that vulnerability equals weakness. We learned it from people who were scared of their own feelings. We learned it from a world that rewards the appearance of strength and punishes the appearance of softness. We learned it so well that we started believing it's the truth, but it's not the truth. It's just a story we've been telling ourselves. The truth is completely different. The truth is that the moments when you felt most connected to another human being were the moments when someone was real with you, when they told you something true, when they let you see behind their mask. Those moments didn't make you think less of them. They made you feel closer to them. They made you feel less alone. By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. So, here's the paradox. The thing we're most afraid to show is the thing that actually creates real connection. We're afraid that if people see our cracks, they'll think we're broken. But what actually happens is the opposite. When people see your cracks, they see themselves. They see that they're not the only ones who are struggling, doubting, feeling like they're not enough. There's this old Japanese art called kintsugi. When a bowl breaks, instead of throwing it away or hiding the cracks, they repair it with gold. The cracks become the most beautiful part. The bowl becomes more valuable, not less, because of what it's been through. That's what happens when you stop hiding your cracks. They become the thing that makes you real. Strength isn't about being unbreakable. Strength is about being real. It's about standing in front of another person and saying, "This is who I am. This is what I feel. This is where I'm struggling." That takes more courage than any mask you could wear. Because when you do that, you're risking rejection. You're risking judgment. You're risking being seen. But here's what you're actually doing. You're giving other people permission to be real too. You're creating a space where pretending isn't necessary. You're showing them that it's possible to exist without all that armor. And when that happens, something shifts. The conversation goes deeper. The connection becomes real. Life stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling like something you're actually living. Think about the people in your life who you feel closest to, not the people you see most often or the people who know the most facts about you. The people who actually get you. Those are the people who've seen you without the mask. Those are the people you've been vulnerable with. That's not a coincidence. Now think about how much energy you spend every day maintaining that mask. How much energy goes into making sure nobody sees too much. How much energy goes into keeping your voice steady when you want to cry. Keeping your face calm when you're screaming inside. Keeping your story acceptable when it's actually messy and complicated and real. All that energy, all that effort. And for what? To be liked by people who don't actually know you? To maintain relationships that aren't actually real? To protect yourself from rejection by people who would only reject the version of you that isn't even real anyway? The universe put this in your path today because somewhere inside you already knows this. You already know that the way you've been doing things isn't working. You already know that there's a version of your life that feels more alive, more real, more like it's actually yours. You just needed permission to stop pretending. This is that permission. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, something changes in your entire system. You stop using all that energy to maintain the mask. You stop monitoring every word, every expression, every reaction. You stop performing your life and start living it. And all that energy that was going into protection, it becomes available for everything else. For creativity, for joy, for actual connection, for being present in your own life. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing or dumping your problems on everyone. It's not about having no boundaries or being a mess all the time. It's about being honest. It's about letting people see you as you actually are, not as you think you should be. It's about saying, "I don't know," instead of pretending you do. It's about saying, "I'm scared," instead of pretending you're confident. It's about saying, "That hurt me," instead of pretending it didn't. And here's what happens when you do that. People relax around you, because they don't have to pretend either. Your honesty gives them permission to be honest. Your vulnerability creates space for their vulnerability. And suddenly, you're having real conversations instead of surface ones. You're building real relationships instead of polite ones. But it goes even deeper than that. When you stop hiding from others, you also stop hiding from yourself. You stop pretending that you're fine when you're not. You stop pushing down feelings because they're inconvenient. You stop ignoring the parts of yourself that don't fit the image you've been trying to maintain. You become whole, not perfect. Whole. There's so much power in that wholeness, because when you're not spending energy on hiding, that energy goes somewhere else. It goes into growth, into healing, into creating, into living. You become more of yourself, not less. You become clearer, sharper, more aligned with what's actually true for you. And the fear you had, that being vulnerable would make you weak, it dissolves, because you realize that showing up as yourself, without armor, without masks, without pretending is the bravest thing you can do. It takes strength to be soft in a world that rewards hardness. It takes courage to be honest in a world that rewards performance. It takes power to be real in a world that's obsessed with image. The universe put this in your path today because you're ready for this shift. You're ready to stop carrying the weight of who you think you should be and start being who you actually are. You're ready to let the people in your life see you, really see you, and you're ready to see them back. This is what changes everything. This is where real life begins. Not when you finally have it all together. Not when you're perfect. Not when you've figured everything out. Right now, as you are, cracks and all. This is where you stop waiting to be worthy and start living like you already are. If this video landed in your path today, it's not random. Nothing is random. You're being called to something different. Something more real. Something that actually feels like your life instead of a performance of your life. The question isn't whether you're ready. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. The question is whether you're willing. Your vulnerability isn't your weakness. It never was. It's the place where your real strength lives. It's the place where real connection happens. It's the place where you stop being who you think you should be and start being who you actually are. And that person, the real you, without all the armor and all the pretending, that person is enough. That person has always been enough. If this video changed something in you, write in the comments, "I choose to be real." Write it as your promise. Nobody